These honey garlic roasted carrots are so flavorful and delicious and easy to make, and it's honestly my favorite way to eat carrots. Just start by washing and peeling the carrots. I'm using these large ones. You can definitely use baby carrots too if you're lazy. And then just make the sauce, which is olive oil, garlic, honey, and a few seasonings. You mix the sauce ingredients together really well before you pour on top of the peeled carrots. I like to make sure to rub the mixture on top of the carrots on all sides to make sure they're evenly coated before baking until they are fork tender. That's it, and you are ready to enjoy. This is Jaj Mahshi bil Frika, a show-stopping and delicious Palestinian and Arab classic chicken that's stuffed with a flavorful frika filling. To start, I'm just gonna make a marinade to let the chicken sit in just so it develops the best flavor. And as good Arab marinades go, use onion, garlic, parsley, yogurt, olive oil, and lots of spices. Use an immersion blender or add it to a food processor to get it pureed, and then add it on top of the chicken. Make sure to get it under the skin and inside the cavity. Let it sit for a minimum of half an hour, but best for a few hours. To make the frika, I'm just sauteing some aromatics like garlic, onion, parsley, and the washed frika. Do not soak frika, otherwise it's going to get too soggy and too mushy. Once added to the stove, you're going to let it cook halfway before removing some of it to stuff the chickens in. And once the chickens are marinated and stuffed, you're going to tie the legs together, bake until they're done, and serve on the remaining cooked frika. That's it, and you're ready to enjoy. Spicy, garlicky, confit tomatoes on top of lebanon is honestly chef's kiss. This combines two delicious breakfast staples like the gandura, which is a tomato and garlic and onion skillet that's famous in Palestine and Jordan, and Lebanon. To start, you need to roast the tomatoes, and I'm using cherry tomatoes here, mixing them with garlic. You can chop the garlic if you'd like. I like keeping them whole. You can add as much or as little garlic as you'd like. Drizzle a generous amount of olive oil on top and add some seasonings like salt, pepper, and some mac, and you roast that until it's completely soft and jammy. And then you combine grated garlic with the lebanon, and then you add the garlic confit tomatoes on top while warm. Finish it off with a sprinkle of some mac, some toasted pine nuts, and I like adding a little bit of freshly chopped mint. It just adds a little bit of flavor, and it's honestly so good. Serve with some pita bread or some crusty bread just like this, and you're ready to enjoy. Delicious and easy halal cart chicken and rice. For some reason, some way, somehow, halal cart copycat recipes have taken over the internet for the past couple of years now. And as someone who lived in the US since practically birth, I could see why this would take over the internet. There's just some really nice spiced rice and some beautifully marinated chicken. Just look at that color. And of course some salad to keep it healthy, and it gets drenched in this really nice and lightly garlicky white sauce. But I'm not sure if you actually know this or not. This actually is not Middle Eastern or Arab food. It has Arab and Middle Eastern spices that are commonly used used in our dishes in our cooking, but it doesn't classify as Arab/Middle Eastern food because it's not a dish from anywhere. It's just convenient food from New York City that happens to use Middle Eastern and Arab spices and is cooked by Middle Easterners and Arabs. But in all honesty, it tastes good, so enjoy the recipe.
I finally discovered that it's possible to make manaish at home that's nearly identical to the ones that you get at a bakery, so here's how you do it. For the dough, combine warm water, warm milk, yeast, sugar, olive oil, salt, and some flour. Knead this for a couple minutes, then shape it into a thick log and divide it into 6 or 7 pieces for small manaish. Shape all the pieces into round balls, then let these rest covered for 20 to 30 minutes until they're doubled in size. Then roll out each dough ball into a nice circle shape that isn't too thick or too thin. For the best flavor, you want to use 3 types of cheese: akawi, mozzarella, and buffalo mozzarella. Buffalo mozzarella leans more on the wet side, and it's going to make this taste incredible. Another topping I like to add is suja, which is basically a meat sausage. To cook the manaish, add some ghee to a hot pan, then add the rolled out dough on top along with your cheese and any toppings, and transfer this directly under the broiler for about a minute until it's beautifully golden. Top it off with sesame seeds, and it's ready to enjoy.